Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast, because Joey Janela always goes in raw.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Stephen Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steven Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, a little notify bell next to it to make sure you always got your new Going in Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers over there. We've got bonus episodes. $5 a month gets you 5 bonus episodes.
That's right.
Every single week. Ask Steven Larson is going to be going live either tonight or first thing in the morning. And then, of course, we've got some gameplay stuff throughout the week.
We do.
We got a bunch of stuff.
We also talk about other stuff.
Yeah, we talk about wrestling sometimes. We do movie reviews. We got a bunch going on. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple patrons, new patrons, Matthew Robertson, Green Lantern, James Noblock, and Nemerensis.
Thank you.
Nemerensis. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks very much for your support.
you.
So, of course, today we're going to talk about AEW's Full Gear.
Full Gear just ended. Not 10 minutes ago, right? 5-10 minutes ago?
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun show. Thought the last two matches, I thought the last two matches, and I forget where the Riho match fell in the card.
That was right before the last two matches.
Well, then the last 3 matches were absolutely stellar. Prior to that,
Kind of felt like Dynamite.
a little bit, yeah. I mean, is Shawn Spears versus Joey Janela, is that worthy of a pay-per-view? Debatable maybe, but it was a solid match.
Yeah.
Page Pac was good.
Nothing. I didn't feel like anything really disappointed, per se.
Yeah, it was
But
solid.
save for the last 3 matches, nothing. Like, I'm sure Young Bucks and LAX are going on. They're going to be feuding for months. So I understand they don't want to go. They don't want to show off everything they can do in the very first match.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. That was a type of match, though, that felt like it should have been a bit more unhinged than what it was.
Yeah. They did a lot, though.
They did a lot. And they
did
told a good story.
Yeah.
A story that Nick Jackson was selling at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, up until the last 3 matches, it felt a lot like a Dynamite, which isn't a bad thing because Dynamite's usually a really fun show with some good matches.
It just didn't go the extra mile.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like it elevated itself
Those
beyond
guys,
what they normally do.
Here's the thing. Those teams have, and here's the thing. Those teams we hold in such high esteem that it takes a lot. Like, if that's any other team, it's like a star-making performance. Mm-hmm. But this is the Young Bucks, probably best tag team maybe ever. And then LAX, which is like one of the best tag teams.
Can't call them LAX anymore. They're ex-LAX.
I can do what I want to. I don't give a damn.
Well, I guess you're
I'm
retired.
not going to call them Proud and Powerful.
You're retired from basketball, so
That Proud and Powerful is a terrible name.
not good.
That's a terrible name.
That we can agree on.
And Ortiz and Santana doesn't roll off the tongue. I'm just going to call them LAX. Eventually, I'll probably stop. But right now, I'm going to call them LAX. This is how it's going to go. Anyways, they're one of the top tag teams of the last, 5 years. This should be like fireworks. And it was still a great match.
It's still really good.
Still a really good match.
But I think, last time we saw the Young Bucks on pay-per-view was that crazy, insane ladder match against the Lucha Bros. But again, that was the blow-off.
Yeah.
When the blow-off between XLAX and Young Bucks happened, it's going to be off the charts. I almost said lights out, but that's a stipulation to AEW. I don't know if it's going to be a lights out match.
Yeah, probably not.
It's going to be off the charts.
Yeah.
Again, they're not going to give you everything. It's like if you went to dinner, had like a 5-course meal, and for appetizer they gave you the filet.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Well, I mean, it's like you just
What
gave
am
me
I, rich? What am I, a billionaire?
you just gave me 6 ounces of filet. What do I care about the rest of the meal for?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they give you a little cracker with a little hunk of like cheese or something on it.
Yeah.
It's to excite the palate.
So anyways, yeah, I thought the women's title match, the men's title match, and then, of course, that awesome, crazy hardcore match at the end. I thought those were all worth price of admission.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a killer pay-per-view. It was really good stuff.
Fun show.
Look, here's the thing, man. All In, All Out, Double or Nothing. All those are pay-per-views that AEW was setting their company up, so they had to basically take over it every single time, Now we're in the rhythm of AEW, and like you said, you can't serve up the filet for your opener.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, just there wasn't a bad match on the card.
No.
And I don't recall any like big botches or anything. A lot of cool stuff going down.
Yeah, I don't recall any of that either.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a killer card.
It was fun. It was fun.
a lot of
And
fun. Briskly paced.
Advanced some stories.
Mm-hmm. AEW has set the bar so high for themselves. Yeah. I mean, it's like, honestly, it's similar to like takeovers. It's like if you do anything but like a 5-star match at a takeover, it's going to be like underwhelming because the bar has been set so high.
Exactly.
Or the G1 for that matter.
But before we get to the match by match breakdown, storyline developments, most prominently at the conclusion of the Cody Jericho bout. Mm-hmm. We can debate whether it's too soon or not. MJF. Swerve Cody.
So I think I'll put it this way. You can go backwards. This Cody match maybe should have happened later for the MJF turn not to have been too soon, but under these circumstances, it was the perfect time for the turn because what else is Cody going to do? He's got, this is a title match where if he loses, he doesn't get to fight for the title again, and that's such a big, giant thing that has to be the thing MJF turns on him for. Mm-hmm. Within the grand scheme of things, was it too soon? Yeah, if they would have pushed, unless they should have probably pushed the Cody thing down further a bit, and then the turn would have been timely.
I'll say this. I would have definitely thought it was too soon if they had done it in the same fashion as WWE would have done it, which is that MJF directly and violently cost Cody the match. If it had been a situation where a move from MJF directly led to Cody losing, I've been like, all right, A, that's just how WWE does it. B, it feels too soon. Mm-hmm. But the way they executed it, where MJF throws in the towel on Cody's behalf because he's worried he's getting beat up too much. And you look at Cody, he looks beat up.
Yeah.
He's in the Lion Tamer. Jericho stomping on his head.
Yeah.
MJF's like, all right, I don't want to see my friend go through this anymore. And then he gets in the middle of the ring. He's on his knees, pretty much begging Cody's forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And then Cody's like, okay, I'm upset. I didn't tap out. I lost because of you, but you're my friend. I will come to grips with it. Pulls him up, and then MJF kicks him with the balls.
Yeah.
It felt more effective. Because there was a little mini swerve inside the larger swerve.
Yeah, because obviously throwing in the towel was part of the swerve.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been one thing perhaps because I like that you can easily ascribe the motivation of MJF as being I don't want to say like a Kato Kalin type, like a mooch, but definitely somebody who likes to be around power.
Yeah.
And when he sees that power, I mean, Cody was obviously losing that match. That was happening. There was no comeback to be had.
Yeah.
In his eyes, at least, he saw that as being the writing on the wall. And at that point, it's like, well, you can't challenge for the title anymore. You lost your power. I mean, he's not fired from being management.
Yeah. But in terms of being top dog in the company,
it's like, dude, you're just a dead body to me. So I'm just gonna do this now. The match is over. Toss in the towel and then move along with my next step.
Yeah, and I really liked how Cody sold it in the ring after he gets kicked in the front area.
Yeah,
he's not holding his crotch like he's in agonizing pain. He's just laying in the middle of the ring, eyes open, staring at the ceiling, just subtly shaking his head. No, that was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was good stuff.
That was really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because even Cody's like, yeah, well, this is gonna happen. Just sucks it happened here.
Yeah, I know. He's probably saying it had to happen here.
Probably shouldn't have had him be my corner guy.
Yeah, pretty much. You mean bring DDP out or something?
Right?
You trust DDP?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, let's start with the buy-in, the kickoff show. One match. B. Priestley versus Britt Baker. Lead up to this match, they ran that promo, that awesome promo that.
So Britt there was did. A really good Britt Baker promo. There was B. Priestley, a similar B. Priestley promo where she responds. Wasn't quite as powerful as the Britt Baker one.
The Britt Baker one's great
because that was so good. That was so good.
Yeah, she was science to tell us how she's going to rip B Priestley's jaw off. It was great.
And yeah, it was a decent enough match.
Yeah. Britt just said on Twitter, though, that she has the flu. So she does match with flu.
Oh my gosh!
So
hopefully her finisher should have been like she has the mandible claw.
Oh, coughing! Yeah, starts coughing
in the mouth.
in B's mouth. Yeah. Anyways, Britt's looking to end it early. She tries for lockjaw. B fights it off. Stomps on Britt, and from that point on, for a while, B is in control. She locks in some body scissors on Britt. Britt eventually fights out, and then there's a double clothesline spot, and they cut Darby Allin sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, he didn't like get involved or anything. He was just sitting in the crowd.
Yeah,
that'd have been great if he had some popcorn.
I know.
Break character a little bit, have some popcorn.
I know. After that, Britt hits a neck breaker, gets 2. She hits a superplex, then goes for a second suplex off that. B fights out. Then she goes for a knee. B does. Britt responds with a cutter, goes for a pin, gets a 2. But B reverses her pin into a pin of her own. She gets a 2.
B should incorporate a V trigger into her repertoire because you can call it either
a B trigger,
or I don't know, a running B.
Well, that's what the knee that she was going for was a B trigger, if you will. Anyways, B hits a German suplex, then a capture suplex that gets her 2 count, and then B goes in kind of like an STF type move. Britt gets the ropes. B hits a double stomp off the top. This part was great. Double stomp off the top while Britt's on the apron. Gets her back inside the ring. They only get her 2 though. B puts Britt up in the electric chair position. Britt gets out of it. Ripcord elbow. Follows the destroyer. Not enough to win though. Britt again goes for lockjaw. B reverses into a roll up. Britt kicks out. Britt hits a kick. Follows with lockjaw. B has to tap at this point. So she's in the ring. She leaves. And then Awesome Kong comes down with Brandy.
Yeah. So I really like how they did like her, like they put the lights out or something. Lights come back on. Awesome Kong's up there. And then Brandy had been behind her the entire time, steps out from because Awesome Kong is so big. So she comes down. She produces a freaking knife. And it's like a really cool Assassin's Creed looking knife too.
Back fist.
Oh, yeah. Judas effect straight to B. Priestley.
Yeah.
Lays her out and then goes down. And Awesome Kong takes the knife and cuts a giant lock of B. Priestley's hair and then smells it, rubs it on her face a little bit.
And then she has like a belt around her waist with other pieces of hair on it.
Yeah, she's going around collecting hair samples.
Yeah.
She wants some DNA.
And then she drops her. She hands the knife back to Brandy, drops her, I don't know what she calls a fairy tale ending, but it's like Ciampa's finisher, fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's after the fairy tale ending. That's when she uses the knife on B's hair.
Yeah.
Thus concludes the buy-in.
That's cool, man. Like, I'm assuming this isn't really going to lead to a B versus Awesome Kong thing
I feel
necessarily.
Like this is more like Awesome just going out destroying.
Right, yeah.
Destroying people.
Which is really neat. That's cool. Anyways, after that, we had a terrific Young Bucks versus LAX match.
Yeah, it kicked off the main card.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Express. We're sitting at NWA Zone.
And it was right where Darby Allin was sitting. They took Darby Allin's seats.
He just wanted to watch the women's match. He was like, kickoff. This is where I'm going to be for a little while. The kickoff. Okay.
I'll hang out here during the kickoff.
This is how the buy-in goes, huh? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Let's have a seat. Got my popcorn. Got my hot dog.
Exactly. And then Ricky Morton comes over. Looking at his ticket. Excuse me, son. I think this might be my seat.
It's like Darby's all. Oh, the main card's starting. Yeah, I'll see you later. I'm just here for the buy-in.
I like the groan. Fine, old man. Fine, old man.
Sorry I walked on your lawn.
Sorry I skateboarded in your driveway.
I know.
In your empty pool.
I know. Sorry I kicked my ball over the fence. Smashed your fern. Sorry. Anyways, bell rings. There's like dual hockey fights that start breaking out. There's like grabbing each other, punching. Rick Knox is the referee for this match, eventually breaks it up. Ortiz is tossed to the barricade. Santana goes to this corner for a tag, but there's no Ortiz there. He can't tag anybody in.
He's not there.
And then Matt hits him with an arm drag. Eventually Ortiz gets back on the apron. Santana tags him in. Young Bucks maintain control through all that. And then at one point it was kind of confusing, maybe because I wasn't quite paying attention well enough. Santana goes to tag in, and Rick Knox is like, no, it doesn't count. Like he had his back turned or something to it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if a ref doesn't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I guess not.
It's like a tree falling.
There's this great bit where XLEX. So you got Ortiz with the Boston Crab on Nick, I think, or Matt. And then Santana puts the other Young Buck in Gloria Special.
Yeah.
And then hovers over the Young Buck and the Boston Crab.
Yeah.
And while having one Young Buck in Gloria Special, does a chin lock on the Young Buck in the Boston Crab. That was pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was like a Stevie Bradley, I think, in chat during the live stream called it human centipede.
Kind of
wasn't quite the mechanics of a human centipede. That's of course ass to mouth.
There's none of that as far as I'm
ass to
aware.
mouth
I'm not
to
aware.
ass
I'm
to
not
mouth.
aware that was the situation here.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is when the story of the match really started coming through, and that was Santana Ortiz concentrating a lot of their offense on Nick Jackson's leg. Injury he was selling even at the conclusion of the show.
True. Or that wasn't a sell job. He was actually just limping around.
Could be.
This is a pretty exhaustive match.
Especially this bit where Nick's on the apron. He's looking to kick Ortiz, who's ringside. Ortiz moves, and so Nick just kicks the ring post. Dong. And then Ortiz sweeps his leg, and then Nick just face plants right on the apron. There's a lot of face planting in this on this show.
There was.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, Cody took the gold medal on that one. Though.
Yeah. Kenny tried his best.
He got the silver for sure.
Yeah, he tried. Maybe they can borrow the tag team medals.
Yeah, there you
for
go.
the face plant award
There
for
you
later
go.
in the show. Anyways, Ortiz ends up tossing Nick over the barricade, and then Santana follows by tossing Matt into Rock and Roll Express. Ooh, they are unhappy.
Not happy. Like somebody's walked on
the
the
last
lawn.
we have seen of Rock and Roll Express. So Santana and Ortiz keep working over Nick's knee. Ortiz hits a dragon screw leg whip, goes for a couple pins. Nick keeps kicking out. Eventually, Nick gets the tag to Matt. He hits this great trio of Northern Light suplex on Santana, and then does two of them consecutively. This was mighty impressive on both Santana and Ortiz. The Bucks hit risky business. Santana kicks out. Ortiz pulls Nick off the apron. And there's this bit where the Bucks later on are going for a Meltzer driver. Of course, Nick, he does the springboard thing. He does the springboard, and once his feet get on the ropes, he falls over.
Because
knee gives out.
His knee, yeah, he's been working that over. So
Yeah, and so then Matt is like, hey, come on, Nick, let's do this. Let's go for more bang for your buck or something. And so he takes Nick and puts him out on the top rope. And then Santana Ortiz, they both super kick Matt, send him into his own corner. And Nick, faced with the conundrum, has to tag himself in.
Yeah.
So he's in the match now. Nick spits his gum at Santana.
Santana picks it up off the mat and then puts it in his own mouth. What's more gross, that or when Joey Ryan produces a lollipop from his taint and sticks it in somebody's mouth?
I'll say the gum because most wrestlers wear two pairs of tights.
Yeah.
So they have the tights that you see, and then there's another pair of tights, usually with like a thong on it. There's always a possibility exists that blow pop rests between the two pairs of tights.
Yeah. Still kind of gross.
It is, but I know that gum's been in somebody's mouth.
Yeah, that's true. So you'd rather have the dick pop?
Guess so.
I think I'd rather have the gum, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's still gross.
I'd choose neither.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then Santana spits it back at Nick. And then XLAX hit their finishers on Nick for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
XLAX, they win. They go over. They proceed to start beating down the Young Bucks. Sammy Guevara comes out to the ring. He's on his phone. He's vlogging the entire thing.
He's vlogging it all.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
And then
good for the content.
Yeah, I guess so. XLX get the sock. There's baseballs inside.
Yes. Well, there and also you failed to mention.
No, they were decked out in Yankee pinstripes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty neat.
I didn't like that.
Anyways, Rock and Roll Express, they hop over the barricade. They come in the ring to make the save. We get to see Ricky Morton hit a slingshot destroyer in Santana.
That was cool.
Yeah, I know.
That was neat.
And then he follows it up with a suicide dive.
Yeah, that was rad.
To take out Sammy and Ortiz. That was cool.
That was pretty awesome. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, friendomarket.com. Right now, you can get 20% off your order at friendomarket.com. All you got to do is head over there, use the promo code GEAR. That's right. We have not done a promo code. Do you like wearing Friendo merch?
I do, yeah.
Well, then, have you had a discount code ever since we did one of them 5-year anniversary shirt sticker packs?
I have not.
Well, we do now. It's the first time. So if you wanted a 20% discount on that 5 anniversary shirt sticker pack.
Now it's time.
Use the promo discount code GEAR.
Gear.
That's friendomarket.com.
Deals.
Using the discount code GEAR.
Deals.
Thanks again to friendomarket.com for sponsoring the show, and you're really helping out Going in Raw by going to friendomarket.com. That's FRIENDO market.com.
Thanks for the
Using
deals,
the promo
too.
code GEAR.
Thanks for the deals.
Deals.
Pete on. Next, Pac taking on Hangman Page. Like of all the matches, I felt like this felt most like a Dynamite match. It took a while to really get going.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I mean, yeah, the match itself was, I mean, it was fine. But like I feel like the feud itself hasn't been as hot. I think it got derailed by Pac not like first being announced for All In and then not. And then he sort of took the slow road to get back. And by that time, like he really cared anymore. It's good. It's good stuff. It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it lacked a little bit of the steam that I think it originally would have had.
Here's part of the thing, and it's a small thing, but I'm going to mention it because we got to do a podcast length show here. Pac has this obsession with being tossed into the barricade.
Yeah, sure.
Every match he's had in AEW, at least 30% of the match is either himself or his opponent being tossed into the barricade. Mm-hmm. It's like a hallmark of Pac matches.
Imagine they get together to figure out the match, and he's like, okay, so we start with a lockup. When do you toss me into the barricade?
Well, Matt, I wonder if the thing is like, well, I could do like an arm bar here, chin lock. No, toss me into the barricade. Why? It's more dynamic. Well, yeah, it's true, Pac. But
it looks so violent.
If you do it every week, then it's the same as doing an arm bar or chin lock. It becomes routine.
No, it's violent every week.
Well,
we'll make it even more violent.
What, are you gonna go through the barricade?
Yes, great idea. Save that for the pay-per-view.
This is for a pay-per-view. I mean, metal. You're but a man, Pac.
Can I glitch through
He
it?
goes, no, I am not man. I'm bastard.
I'm bastard. Anyways,
that being said, it was still a perfectly fine match.
It was a fine match. It was a fine match.
Page starts out fast, and then he tosses Pac from the ring. Guess what happens next?
Sends him into the barricade.
Toss Pac in the barricade
Put me in the barricade.
A lot. We're back in the ring. Excuse me. Page kicks Pac. Page shrugs it off, hits a fall-away slam. Standing shooting star press. But then Pac gets knees up during shooting star press. And then Page sends Pac from the ring. His suicide dive. Gets into what?
The barricade.
Barricade. Tosses Pac back at the ring, couple clothesline. Page has the advantage for a while until Pac pokes Page in the eyes, kicks him in the face a couple times. He is now in control. He goes for a Phoenix Splash off the second rope. Not the first Phoenix Splash we're going to talk about today. Misses, though. Page makes comeback, hits a Uranage on the apron, and then does what?
Tosses him into the barricade.
Tosses Pac into the barricade.
Yeah.
And follows the moonsault off the top rope. Page gets Pac back in, goes for a buckshot. Page just keeps on rolling out. It's like chilling out by a chair in the corner by what?
The barricade.
By the barricade. Mm-hmm. Page charges towards him. Pac picks him up, brainbuster into the chair.
Yeah, and they sort of like run into the barricade while they do that.
Yeah, kind of. And then Page ends up beating the 10 count because Pac's like, done.
Yeah, I finished my match.
He gets back in the ring, walks right into a missile drop kick that earns Pac a 2 count. Pac hits a enziguri, goes up top. Page pushes him off, follows with a super fall-away slam. That was pretty cool. Then Page goes for a buckshot. Pac responds with a super kick. Then German suplex. Pac goes for a Rana. Page says, no, you eat pop-up powerbomb instead.
It was a great looking pop-up powerbomb.
Man, it was great, man. And then Page goes for Deadeye. Pac fights it off, locks in a brutalizer. Page starts to fade and just kind of flops over into the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pac goes up top for Black Arrow. Misses. Page goes for buckshot. Pac evades. Page pushes him into the ref. And then Pac goes for like the mule kick low blow.
Yeah.
Page catches it.
He says no.
Drops Pac with a couple forearms and hits Deadeye for the win.
Yes.
At least 10 instances of Pac getting tossed in the barricade during the course of this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just loves that.
I love getting thrown into the barricade.
Mm-hmm.
It's so effective.
Mm.
Because it's right there with the people. It's engagement.
I'm a bastard.
I'm a bastard too.
So that seemed to be the blow-off of this particular feud, I would suspect, unless Pac upset he didn't get to finish this match with a shot to the front area.
Well, I can assume, of course, that Mox Kenny was their blow off. And obviously there's that
No, I think Mox is going to go to Tony Khan and say, I beat him in your lights out match. Now give me a sanctioned match where I can beat him.
Okay.
So it counts.
So it counts, yeah.
Yes, that'd be my guess.
That could be. There is still that lingering issue between Pac
And Kenny, yes.
and I was going to say Mox.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I mean, it was a brief thing, but still. Maybe they'll take that detour. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. It's going to be very interesting 6 months from now to see just how referential they can get to stuff that happened in the past, because they set up a lot of things with a lot of people, and you got any number of directions you could take these. That's what's really compelling about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, Shawn Spears taking on bad boy Joey Janela. Gets some brawling to start. Joey gets the advantage, rips off Shawn Spears' shirt. Spears rolls out of the ring. And then Joey, like for a stretch, keeps getting distracted by Tully Blanchard.
Well, he's lingering, and he's a horseman.
And he's like talking to him, talking trash. And then Shawn Spears would try to take advantage, just couldn't do it. He's kind of hapless to start the match.
A little bit.
Lost his shirt. Tully was distracting Joey just as much as Shawn, or Shawn just as much as Joey, it seemed like. Anyways, so Joey sends Shawn Spears out of the ring with the Hurricane Rana, hits kick, and then jumps off the apron. And then Spears catches him, drops him the power slam ringside. And then Spears starts working over Joey's lower back. Rams him to the ring post, I think. Hits some forearms on it. Spears is in control. And then he drops Joey on the apron with a belly-to-back suplex. Joey tries to make a comeback. Instead, Spears just tosses him out of the ring. And Joey does one of those flops out.
Oh, my God,
where
yeah.
he goes head over heels backwards, and his lower back hits the edge of the apron.
Yeah.
Which, in terms of the story being told in the match, it's great.
Yeah, but that's
Works effectively.
That's going to catch
Yeah, it
up.
looks like it hurts, though.
No kidding.
So Shawn Spears removes the cover from the piece of metal that connects the ring post to the turnbuckle. So takes that off. And underneath there, I guess, was the tag rope.
Yeah.
And so
This was a cool bit. This
it was
very
cool.
creative, yeah.
So Joey's in the corner, and so Shawn Spears ties Joey's hair,
In a ponytail, basically.
essentially using the tag rope so
Yeah.
Joey can't pull himself free.
Yeah.
Hits him a couple punches, runs back, charges. Joey hits him with a couple kicks, fends him off. Eventually, Joey pulls his hair out of that predicament, goes for a drop kick. Spears moves, however, locks in, sharpshooter again, working that lower back. Joey eventually gets the ropes, though. Joey hits a super kick, start to come back, follows some strikes, corner kicks, then a running knee. Goes for another, and then Spears gets out of the ring. Joey hits a somersault senton off the top to the floor. Back in the ring, Joey goes up top again. Shawn meets him up there, tosses him off, gets a 2 count.
Tosses him off.
Joey tosses Spears out of the ring, follows with suicide dive, more kicks, then a clothesline to the back of his head, a suplex. That gets him a 2 count, and then Joey grabs the wrist. Danielson stomps.
Yeah, those are ugly.
They're great. Tully hops up on the apron for a momentary distraction. Joey goes to the top rope. Shawn knocks him off and then picks him up. Backbreaker on the top turnbuckle. Tully's on the apron again. And while the ref is dealing with that, Shawn goes over to the turnbuckle, opposite turnbuckle, takes the cover off, throws it in the middle of the ring. And he wanders back over. Earl's like,
Distracted.
there's a turnbuckle cover off. How did this happen?
Not paying attention to the action.
He goes to tie that back on, so Shawn goes down, and he and Tully hit a pile driver. So what happens is Shawn gets a pile driver, Tully jumps off the ring steps, more pressure downward on that pile driver on the floor.
Yeah, man.
And then Shawn Spears hits a Death Valley driver for the win.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Number one, I like that Shawn Spears picked up a win here. Kind of surprised. But, yeah, I mean, I hope this feud continues. The guy tried to literally chop Joey Janela's tongue out of his mouth. That's dark. That requires several matches.
Yes.
In my
and
opinion.
I think due to Tully's interference.
Sure, yeah.
And constant distractions.
Yeah.
Joey would be justified in requesting and being granted another match.
For sure, yeah.
Against Shawn Spears. Next, we had a Kip Sabian interview. He's asked, Golden Boy asked him, what's with the change of attitude? And
Kip's just kind of a dick to him.
yeah. There's a couple funny lines in this, though.
Yeah, here and there.
And then he said, you got to make alliances. I've been here long enough to know, so you got to, find some friends. I thought I had that with.
I got here. I said everybody's like clicking up.
Yeah.
And I found that with the H2 Hybrid 2 guys.
TH2, yeah. Didn't work out in the first go around, so. And then he starts waving.
Yeah.
And in walks Penelope Ford.
He's like, yeah, I've got myself my own little faction here. Which,
yeah.
I mean, they're just a couple, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And then she says, why be bad when you can be super bad? Of course, that's Kip Sabian's thing. He's super bad.
He's
Kip
super
Sabian and Penelope and Joey Janela used to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why be bad as a bad boy?
Yeah.
You'd be super bad.
You'd be super bad.
Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian, yeah. He's more bad.
Super bad.
He's the super bad.
He's super baddest.
After that, we had Private Party versus Lucha Bros versus SCU. Another fun match. As you kind of had predicted, Private Party was around to eat the pin here.
Yeah, there were some fun spots, and they definitely gave Private Party several showcase moments. And Ray Phoenix is incredible. This is a great moment.
He is absolutely next level.
Where several great moments, like Scorpio, Sky, and Kazarian both hit cutters on Peeps, and then transition to Dragon Sleepers. I can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
But there's a great moment where it starts off with Kazarian, maybe like halfway through the match, hits a springboard Rana on Pentagon, sends him to the floor, both of them to the floor. And then Mark Quinn follows with a corkscrew tope. And then Scorpio Sky goes for some sort of, he's like priming for like a suicide dive or something, or a tope. He eats the kick from Phoenix. And then Cassidy follows with a corkscrew pescado. And then Phoenix takes everyone out with one of those things where he's jumping on the ropes a couple times, corkscrew splash of his own. It was just bang, 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 bang,
like
bang.
He's more comfortable walking on the ropes than he is on the ground. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And then Kazarian hits an assisted DDT on Phoenix. He and Scorpio Sky team up on that. Pentagon breaks it up. Private Party tosses Pentagon from the ring. Mark Quinn tags himself in. Private Party clear house again. There's a couple instances where they got the hot tag. Or got tagged in. Just clear house. Quinn hits a shooting star press. That one gets him a 2 count. Private Party goes for their finisher, Gin and Juice. SCU blocks it. Then SCU hits their finish to get the win.
Yep.
And then Lucha Brothers attack after the bell. Pentagon goes get a chair. Sets up Kaz for the package pile driver, I believe. Lights go out. Come back up. There's the Spider-Man meme.
Spider-Man meme, but with Penta. And then and he ends up hitting the Angel's wings on Phoenix. And it's Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So Fallen Angel is back, and he was warding off Penta and Phoenix. And he told Scorpio Sky, like right in front of the camera, hey, hold me back. And then Scorpio Sky did this, and he was like, look at you.
Yeah. He also said, I'm effing back.
Yeah.
He screamed it.
So that was good. So, yeah, well in advance of his projected time frame of 2 months.
It was 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been like 2.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Does he have John Cena healing factor?
He's like super
hyperbaric
old.
chamber.
He's super old, and he looks great, so maybe. But also, it's possible that, maybe the whole thing was work. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, it could be. You don't think so?
They wouldn't lie to us about a diagnosis.
Sure
would they?
would.
And it's a pinched nerve. I don't think pinched nerves can keep anybody out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. He's just sort of a minor annoyance.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You just rest for a couple weeks probably, and I think you're good. That's exactly what happened.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Next, this match was awesome.
And also, he's the fallen angel. Like, he's supernatural.
He was supposed to be the higher power.
He's like that dude we played basketball against today. He's like 52 years old, but he looked like 30.
Yeah, man.
If that.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I never would have thought he was 52 years old.
That's weird.
I find that inspiring.
I find it creepy because that dude is like, we literally played an immortal today. He didn't look anything like 52. Like, you're way past the ability to do that.
Oh, I'd never had the ability to play as well as he did.
I'm not that I'm even playing. I'm just saying, like, your general look. Like, my God, he's 52 years old, and he looked like he was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
That was bizarre.
I look way older than early 30s.
I'm like, I can't compete against supernatural beings anymore. I'm retiring. I'm
anymore. I don't think you ever could.
No, probably not. But I had never encountered one before until today.
You're setting the bar way too high. Like,
I didn't realize that supernatural beings were playing basketball on the courts.
How can anybody compete with supernatural beings?
Exactly. So why even try? I'm retired from basketball. Next up,
inspiring. If he's 52 years old, and every weekend out there playing ball and playing great, I find that inspiring.
You know who's inspiring? Emi Sakura in this match against Riho.
Yeah.
She's terrific.
She is terrific.
They're both terrific.
As is Riho.
That freaking coup de grace was insane.
Yeah, man.
Holy crap.
This spot was great, though. Early on, Emi beals Riho. She goes for another, and Io just does a handstand flip out of it and then leaps towards Emi. Emi catches her, drops her with a huge power slam. The whole part was great. There's also so many great bits in this.
I got to mention this also. Eve Pro Wrestling is going through their She Won tournament right now. You can find their YouTube channel on YouTube. Just look up Eve Pro Wrestling. You'll find it. But they had day one today. It was terrific. Millie McKenzie was in that, and she's like one of my favorites.
Oh, she's great.
But they also during their intermission they reran a match with Emi Sakura because she trained like a bunch of the people that come through Eve, and it was really really fun.
That's
so
cool.
She's got one of the cool things. I mean, this was something that I had said early on with AEW after I saw that first Joshi match, is that they're sort of giving a lot of exposure to people like Emi Sakura, and now that she has more of her profile's been raised, you start to learn, oh wow, she's had a really really big influence on a lot of wrestlers right now, and obviously Riho in this match particularly.
Yeah, it was about the teacher-student dynamic.
Yeah,
totally. Actually, I had the video package preceding this match that went into that in more depth.
Sure.
Emi hit the first of many fun splashes through the ropes essentially and sends Riho off the apron. That's when Riho hit that huge double stomp off the top, right on the apron. So Emi's kind of bent over, and Riho stomps her and sends her, pancakes her into the apron.
That was right.
That looked great. And then follows with a knee to the back of Emi's head, goes for the cover. Emi kicks out. Riho transitions to a single leg crab. Emi gets to the ropes. So Emi hits a reverse neck breaker, tries to get the crowd into it, doing the Freddie Mercury thing. Corner fun splash, man. That corner fun splash from Emi.
It's terrific.
Fantastic. She does the rolling Romero special thing again. Maintains control for a while until Riho hits drop toe hold. 619. Top rope crossbody only gets her a 2 though. Riho hits corner knee. Charges Emi. She hits this part was great.
Yeah.
A tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, then a pendulum backbreaker. And then she goes up, you think she can do a Vader bomb, but she stomps on Riho's arm.
She turns she does the Vader bomb thing, but instead of landing flat, she stomps, like you said, on Riho's arm. And it looked devastating.
It looked like it hurt, and then she did it again, but this time twisted midair, did a senton.
Oh man,
it was something else.
Very
man.
creative, very creative.
Yeah, that only got a 2 count. Later on, they're trading strikes, and then Riho starts dropping a bunch of forearms. Drop kicks Emi. Emi follows with a slap. Goes for another strike. Riho ducks. Hits a roll through, but then double stomp. Follows with Northern Lights. That gets her a 2. Riho goes for the double knees. Emi dodges. Riho hits a double stomp off the second rope. Then follows it up with a double stomp off the top rope. And Emi just does a kick out. She bridges out of it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was awesome.
That was great. And then Emi, soon thereafter, hits a huge Saito suplex. And then does a thing where she has a butterfly thing and kind of Lashley's Dominator thing, but it's butterfly. It was crazy. Riho can only get her foot on the rope. And then Emi goes for fairy tale ending. Riho escapes, goes for the knees. And there's a bunch of roll-ups, all in bang, 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 bang. It's super fast.
Yeah.
And near falls. And it kind of concludes with Riho kind of bouncing off the rope in the crucifix pin and then spinning around Emi until more of a standard roll-up.
Yeah.
For the win.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It was absolutely insane. It was, it's a breath of fresh air to watch. Yeah, it's terrific. Really good stuff. After that, we had Cody versus Chris Jericho for the AEW title. 60-minute time limit. Your judges revealed.
Yes.
Horseman, Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
Horseman, Arn Anderson. The Great Muda.
Yeah.
No RoboCop to be found.
Unfortunately.
No Yeti to be found.
No ding-dongs.
No ding-dongs. No Red, White, and Blue Sting.
No Surfer Sting, yeah.
No Lex Luger.
No.
He was at StarCast.
Yeah, I know.
Sting was at StarCast.
Yeah.
RoboCop was at StarCast.
Magnum TA at StarCast, too.
Where were these judges?
Not there.
Arn Anderson should have recused himself because he helped Cody win.
That's why he's there.
That's Shawn
I told
Spears
you that.
match.
I told you that. They tried to make a point of saying that Arn had beef with Dusty, and that may be true, but you mentioned that. I I think one of the reason they chose Dean and Arn is because Dean has history with one Chris Jericho going back to WCW. Man of 1,000 holds.
That's like 30,000 years ago.
They brought that up on the broadcast.
Well, JR did because he has no idea what else to say.
This is a little story thread. So you think going into this, if this goes to the judges, Dean's playing, like he has previous beef with Jericho. He might give Cody his vote because of that. Arn helped out Cody. Arn might give Cody the edge because they have a thing. I don't know about Great Muta. I don't know if he has any history with Jericho. but that's immaterial because Cody won the 2-1 if it goes to the judges.
They should have gone with RoboCop, obviously.
He'd been impartial.
Yeah, exactly. He's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
A little more of a cyborg.
This is, so I thought it was a great choice of judges because you think, oh wow, I mean, if this goes to the judges, like not to say definitively they would lean towards Cody, but you could see why they would.
Yeah, it's all bad, man. Cody's the boss, and obviously he's got a say in these judges. He's stacking the deck in his favor. I don't like it.
You put it that way, too.
He should have got RoboCop. This match went around 40 minutes, and then the main event went around 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 38-46, I think, the main event, which considering what they did, ow.
I love it, though, man. 2 really long matches, and neither one at any time was I not fully engrossed in the matches for completely different reasons. Cody, I no longer, he completely has the benefit of the doubt as far as I'm concerned. He can get up there and say, hey, whoever his next opponent is, MJF, we're going to take this super old school 5 hours, catch as catch can.
Best 2 out of 3
and I'll
falls.
be like, okay, cool. I'm sure he's going to make it compelling. The best storyteller of this generation now is Cody Rhodes.
Definitely. So even so Cody's making his entrance. He's there alone. He's kind of looking around a little bit, laughing. And you even made the joke like, Steve or Cody, he's like his imaginary friend's up there on stage. Someone cracked the joke. But then MJF, poof.
He just appeared.
We should have. I told you this when the show was happening. It's like, MJF, he's wearing a black suit.
Oh, somebody mentioned that in chat.
Yeah.
They're like, he's totally healing up.
Yeah,
he's got a black suit on.
Early on, also, Jericho's over there messing with the judges at the table, namely Dean Malenko.
I love that. I do absolutely love that they let Jericho and Malenko go at each other
have a little
bit,
moment. I know,
because that was really when anybody thinks of what the best of Jericho in WCW was.
Armbar.
It goes to that. It goes to his first list, which is his list of moves.
Yep. So had some decent back and forth. Tide really turned when Cody clotheslines Jericho over the top rope, and it kind of seemed like Jericho forgot the stage was there when he landed.
Yeah.
But just wait. So Cody follows up with like a slingshot dive.
The sucky thing about this, I don't think they replayed this.
They did.
They did?
They did.
Because when it happened, Jericho was sort of in the foreground of the shot.
So it blocked impact.
So you don't see the impact. And apparently, maybe I was just marking out too hard. What did it look like on replay?
Oh, it looked like he landed right in his eye, like right in his eyebrow.
He gets up, and there is a gash the size of like Montana.
It's maybe 1.25 inches wide.
Oh my God, it was huge.
But it's not straight across. It's got a little bit like of a U shape to it, right above his eye.
And it was deep.
It was deep.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some stitches.
So immediately it was just he
was bleeding. The
bleeding
doctor
everywhere.
attended to him. But whether it was intended for him to bleed or not, again, great visual. Oh, and you think too.
I guarantee he had a razor tucked somewhere.
Somewhere.
He was gonna bleed during that match. It was just, I guess, fortuitous that he,
face planted,
shotgunned his face on that.
Yeah. But it's great because you think, okay, well, there's a target for Jericho to go after with the Judas effect now.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And so after that happens, of course, the doctors are attending to him. Jake Hager, who accompanied Chris Jericho to ringside, tosses a chair in the ring. Jericho's having a seat, chilling out for a bit while they're trying to get the blood to stop, and they end up kicking Cody in the face. And he's in control for quite a while. At one point, Jericho sends him from the ring, and Hager attacks him. And eventually Hager wanders off, and Cody's this whole time he's like, Don't stop the match. Don't stop the match. Whatever you do, don't stop the match. Bit of foreshadowing, if you will. Cody eventually makes a comeback with some punches, or tries to. Jericho ends that with kitchen sink. Same scenario later on. This time Cody tries to make a comeback. Goes for a moonsault. Misses. Jericho goes for the cover. Gets 2. Jericho avoided a Cody drop kick. Next time he tried for a comeback. Goes for a lion salt. Cody gets his knees up. He follows that with an os cutter. They kept on calling it the diamond cutter, but he springboarded off the rope. An os cutter.
Yeah.
That gets him a 2 count.
The endless battle between. I feel like Shivani. So Shivani wasn't there. He's calling a Georgia Bulldogs game.
Yeah.
I do kind of feel though, like if you look at their work together as a trio on Dynamite, Shivani's kind of the lubricant. You know,
he is, because there's a lot of sniping back and forth between JR about moves. Like there's, I forgot what it was this match where Cody hits an Alabama slam. And Excalibur called it something else. Mm-hmm. And then for like a good minute, JR was harping on him about it. Yeah. And Excalibur's like, oh, an Alabama slam. Yeah. And JR goes, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, God. How did Excalibur not go Jimmy Havoc on him?
I don't know, man. Anyway, so after that us cutter 2 count, Cody hits a disaster kick. That sends Jericho from the ring. Jericho, though, eventually pretty quickly comes to, rams Cody into the ring post, back first. And then they wander over to where Cody's mom is sitting ringside. And Cody's mom slaps Jericho.
Mm-hmm. And then says, F you.
Yeah. And then Cody spears him.
Uh-huh.
And then gives his mom a hug.
Yes.
The Alabama slam spot. That gets him a 2 count. He puts in the figure 4, reverse pressure, reverses the reversal. Cody gets the ropes. And when he gets the ropes, Hager pie faces him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets on the apron and starts talking trash to Cody. Cody's like, WTF, man. And then Cody sends Jericho into Hager, knocks Hager off the apron. Cody rolls up Jericho. That gets him a 2 count. But when Jericho kicks out, he sends Cody towards the rope. So Hager clocks Cody.
Yeah.
And ref Aubrey Edwards is like, all right.
You're done.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Hager, you're out of here. So MJF comes over, starts doing this. Bye-bye, talks trash. Hager lays him out. And so there's a big to-do about getting Hager out of the ringside area. Maybe it's just like, hey, we got to help him up, get this giant stage ramp thing we got going here. Mm-hmm. So the ref is distracted. Meanwhile, Jericho goes and grabs the AEW title, hits Cody with it, and then Jericho does a full-on Eddie Guerrero thing, tosses the belt aside, lays on his back.
It was great, yeah. And then even like brings his head up for a second to see where Audrey is.
It was great. He eventually goes for the cover once Aubrey gets back in the ring. And Cody kicks out. Goes for a Judas effect. Cody catches it, hits Crossroads. We're like, yeah, Cody has a chance. No, Jericho kicks out. And then Cody goes full Dusty, punches, bionic elbow, goes to the pin, 2 count. He goes for another disaster kick. Jericho responds with Code Breaker. Mm-hmm. Cody kicks out, however. And then that's when Jericho takes off his weight belt and starts beating the heck out of Cody with it.
I'm the man.
I know. Jericho goes to the top. Cody hits him with a drop kick. Goes for Rana on the top. Jericho catches it, drops him down the mat, locks in walls of Jericho. Cody fights, gets to the ropes. Jericho releases the hold. Then Jericho gets in the face of the ref, starts talking trash, pushes her. Mm-hmm. She pushes him back.
Yep.
Right into a roll-up from Cody. That gets 2. But then Jericho locks in a deep, like he used to in WCW, a lion tamer.
Yeah. He got the knee on the back.
Yeah. Before that, he starts stomping on Cody's head.
Yeah. He has it in, and he starts stomping the head, and then he puts the knee back on.
Right in the lower back.
And Cody, I mean, at this point, Cody, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
MJF sees the writing on the wall, throws in the towel. Jericho retains. Cody can no longer, until they write it, Cody can no longer challenge for the title.
Yeah.
Inner Circle come to the stage to celebrate with some Jericho and some bubbly. MJF gets in there with Cody. He's really emotional.
He's on his knees pleading for forgiveness.
Yeah, he keeps on saying, I didn't give up. Cody helps him up, kind of with a handshake. He brings him up, and then MJF kicks him in the balls.
Yeah, and then MJF walks up the stage. He walks up the ramp, stands at the top of the stage, and there's a dude who looks like Oni Lorcan in the crowd, throws like a beer or something at him.
And thanks to Fightful Select, by the way, a terrific
by all means
sub on Patreon.
Do that.
Independent.
Sign up for it.
So I'm going to go ahead and toss this out there. This is just a little bit of the kind of stuff that you get from Fightful Select. We're not like they're not like buying ad time here or anything, but they are a valuable resource to the show here. Independent wrestler Alan Angels has confirmed that he's the person who hit MJF with the big cup of water at AEW Full Gear. He wrestles next weekend at Primetime Pro Wrestling and competes around the Georgia area.
Yeah. So, I thought it was probably a plant. And then why is on
unfortunately, he'll never wrestle in AEW, though.
No. Well, I mean, I thought
I'm joking.
Yeah. But they were still wise to send security over and escort him out.
No, that's awesome because that's what you should do because that's what happened if it's real and they wanted to look real and it really did.
Yep.
So that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. That was
so
good
MJF has got the nuclear heat on him right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Finally, our main event.
Oh boy.
Lights out. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley.
So before the match, you were just coming back in, I think, from the bathroom.
Using the restroom, yes.
And Justin Roberts says, "The lights are about to go out, and when they come back on, AEW will no longer be responsible for what's about to happen."
Interesting.
And then like the main lights go out, so you just see it's like Fiend lights, and then the lights come back on, and at that point AEW is Bennett and ain't in it.
Washes their hands of anything that's going to happen.
Yep. And boy, a lot happened.
A lot happened. A lot of brutal stuff happened. Kenny isn't known to take some chances. Not exactly known for doing the hardcore stuff.
No, not really.
More or less, he kept up with Moxley and then some.
He seemed to revel in this hardcore stuff.
It was simultaneously, man, this is a lot of fun. Ow, this really hurts. It was like playing basketball today.
Yeah.
Without any broken glass, however.
Yeah. No, there was less of that.
Things got started in the hardcore area with Mox getting a garbage can from under the ring. Bashes Kenny over the head with the lid. Eventually, though, Kenny drives Mox out of the ring like he did when Mox first showed up in AEW. Toss him over the guardrail, and this was great. Kenny runs back, sprints, and does a drop kick to Mox, jumping over the guardrail.
Yeah.
That was insane. And there's had to be a chair right there. He grabs it, hits Mox with it.
It's great.
Grabs someone's Budweiser.
It was like a tall
Punches.
boy, too.
Yeah.
That's like a $20 beer probably, depending on the arena you're going to.
There's at least 2 Budweisers that Kenny took to Mox. And then he finds a garbage can, hits Mox with it, puts it on top of him, climbs up to the lower bowl, double stomp. Mm-hmm. That was great. He crushed the heck out of that garbage can, too.
It just got annihilated.
It just disintegrated.
Yeah.
Eventually, they would work their way back towards ringside. Kenny goes for like a springboard on the guardrail. Mox pushes him off. And then Mox goes and gets the barbed wire bat. Hits him in the gut, but not with the barbed wire part per se. Goes for a shot with it. Kenny fends the first attempt off. Mox eventually lands it. And pretty quickly you can tell this isn't some gimmicked barbed wire thing. It might be the super short barbed wire, but there's little bits of blood forming on Kenny's back pretty much immediately.
Yeah. No, that was happening immediately.
Yeah. And then Kenny's stomach down on the mat, and then Mox puts the bat on his back and then starts stepping and grinding.
Yeah.
And then he tries to take the bat to Kenny's forehead. Kenny fights it off. Kenny goes for a dragon suplex. And while he's holding him there, Mox takes the bat and starts grinding it on his arm. Mm-hmm. So Kenny releases. And then he ends up hitting Mox with the garbage can and then follows a pile driver on what's left of the can. So Kenny then gets the bat. It's like, no, I don't want this. Tosses it aside. Goes to ringside, pulls a table out, sets it up against the barricade, goes around the corner. Aha. Found his broom. Mm-hmm. Turns around because he's posing and stuff for the crowd.
He's very theatrical. Kenny
and he turns around and Mox throws a garbage can at him. Mox goes for a suicide dive, and then Kenny hits him in the head with barbed wire broom.
This part was great because then he's got Mox down on his stomach, and Kenny gets the broom, and he starts sweeping his back with the barbed wire broom, and you can literally see the scratches and then the blood start to pour.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
It was fantastic.
At some point, like, I don't know if it was that or what, but at some point, like, the blood just
It was from the suicide dive.
Okay, it was from that. Okay.
Yeah, because like, he probably got some cuts on the back of his head.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was nasty. It was a lot.
And then he puts the broom on Mox's back and starts stomping on it.
Yeah.
Does a double stomp on him. And then he takes the bat to Mox's forehead, follows with the drop toe hold onto the barbed wire broom, and then follows with the Kataro Crusher onto the broom. Mm-hmm. Only gets him a 2 count, though.
Yeah.
And then Kenny gets another garbage can, sits on the ring post, and does the you can't escape thing. And when he gets in the second turnbuckle for the moonsault, he grabs the garbage can, hits the moonsault with garbage can. And then Kenny goes and brings out a board that's covered in mouse traps.
Yeah.
And they're all set, so when
it's like a big, like...
Oh, it's huge.
It's like at least like a
It's like an 8x10 or 8x8 chunk of wood.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
It was pretty large.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Maybe 6x8.
I was thinking like 6x8 or 6x6.
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
Yeah. He puts it in the ring. They start trading strikes. Ends with Moxley taking Kenny down with a lariat. And then Mox X-plexes Kenny onto the mousetrap board.
Yeah.
And then Mox goes in the ring, gets a box of like this thick, huge gold chain, like. And it's an anchor chain, you know. It's a ton. The links are on it, like an inch and a half long.
Puts it all in like a pile, so it's all uneven.
It's like a mound of it. Yeah.
And
then he hits a sidewalk slam on Kenny onto the chain, and that gets him a 2 count. Follows the neck breaker onto the chain. That gets him a 1. And then when he kicks out, Mox sits up and starts laughing.
Yeah, when he looks right in the camera, that's where we get our thumbnail from.
Hence the thumbnail, yes. And then Mox produces a chisel.
To me, it looked like a chisel because it had an edge to it.
Or a screwdriver. It looked like it could be a flathead screwdriver, maybe.
I think because of the short handle, I think it was like chisels are really sharp.
Yeah.
Like I have a chisel at home. It's very sharp.
Yeah.
And so I think this was probably supposed to be a chisel.
Yeah.
Although he didn't produce any blood when he ran it across the top of his head. I think maybe a chisel would have done that.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I don't know.
So he starts going after Kenny with it. Kenny gets some chain, wraps it around his fist, starts punching him. Eventually, Mox kind of rears back in a stabbing motion. Kenny gets out of the way, so the chisel, screwdriver, whatever, stuck in the top turnbuckle.
I think, it probably was a chisel because it's like that thing literally stabbed it and went in.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably a chisel.
Yeah. And then Mox belly to back Kenny onto the chain again.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow. So Mox wraps some chain around Kenny's throat. It's about to toss him with the top rope. Instead, Kenny escapes, drops Mox with a pair of snapdragons, sets up for one on the chain, maybe. Mox avoids it, but ends up eating one, just not on the chain. And that's when Kenny wraps the chain around Mox's neck, tosses him over the top rope, starts choking him. Eventually has to release. And Excalibur made a good point of justifying the release, saying the blood on Kenny's hands made him lose his grip.
Slipped out.
Yep. Goes for the tope, the Terminator tope. He hits it. And the table he set up against the barricade.
Yeah.
Kind of just forgot about.
Yeah.
They both go through that now.
Both go through that table.
It was well done. And then Kenny, now it's his turn to go into the ring.
He's got a sack.
He's got a sack. You think thumbtacks. We've seen it a million times.
This was brutal, man. He pulls out a giant shard of broken glass.
Yeah, man.
And Excalibur says, that's got to be the glass from that broken table.
Yeah.
Or Kenny just got some glass and
that
broke
paradigm
it.
shift. Yeah.
Either way, symbolically, it was great.
Yeah. So he goes to take it to Mox's head at first. Mox kind of fends that off. So instead, Kenny cuts between his fingers.
Yeah.
Ow.
Like one of those paper cut spots.
Yeah.
Except with a shard of glass.
Much thicker. And then Kenny starts stomping on the sacks to break up the chunks of glass into smaller little bits. And then dumps it all into a pile of the ring. And then eventually Kenny hits the spine buster on Mox onto the pile of broken glass.
And then this is great.
Oh my God.
He just starts dragging Mox through the glass. Follows up with a sharpshooter. Mox has to then crawl. I'm telling you, this dude watched Die Hard.
Totally.
I guarantee Die Hard is his #1 movie. He is such a John McClane character.
Totally.
And so he has to, much like John McClane had to walk through the glass with bare feet, Mox had to crawl through the glass in order to get to a rope to get some leverage to break up.
To pull himself out of the sharpshooter,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah. Do you think Mox thinks Die Hard's a Christmas movie, yay or nay? He does, because it is. Anyways, Kenny collects a handful of glass from the mat.
I feel like he doesn't care. He's like, I don't know. Who cares? It's a great movie. No, he probably doesn't think it because it makes it less cool.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It does not.
Christmas movies are inherently not cool, man.
It's not true. Die Hard makes them cool.
He's like, no, it's an action movie.
It can be
That's
both.
what he'd say.
It can
No,
be
it
an
can't.
action
It's
movie
an
and a
action
Christmas
movie.
movie.
That's what it is.
Kenny collects a handful.
Trying to put that movie in a box. Yes, dude. I am.
The movie's unsanctionable. Kenny gets a handful of glass, and he tries to put it in Mox's mouth. They kind of fight for position. He does eventually. He goes for a V trigger. Mox avoids it, and then German suplexes Kenny onto the glass.
That was like a snap German suplex, too, man. That was nasty.
Oh, my God. But the Kenny gets right back up, and then V triggers Mox, still with a mouthful of glass.
Yeah.
And then hits another one. That sends Mox out of the ring. Kenny gets the chisel. Up the ramp they go for a little bit, and then he starts taking it to his forehead. And then while Mox is down there selling that, Kenny's like, come on out here. Bring it out.
Yeah.
And so Young Bucks and Hangman Page come out, and they're like, no, don't do it. This is insanity.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And Kenny is like, fine. Blow me off then.
Yeah.
But then they come back, and this huge apparatus, he said during the stream, it looked like a bed frame kind of like on sticks.
Yeah.
And it was covered, they call it like a spider web of barbed wire.
Yeah.
So it was a frame.
It was a frame that was like maybe 3 feet high or so.
Yeah, maybe
4
again
feet
6
high.
by 8. Maybe it was a frame that the piece of wood with the mousetrap came in.
It was like the size of like a queen size bed.
That's a fair point.
And about as deep if you have a really tall sort of box spring.
Yeah.
And so, but instead of like a nice soft, sleep
Pillow
system.
top.
Yeah, pillow top.
Tempur-Pedic pillow top.
Right. Memory foam.
Barbed wire.
No, it's barbed wire. Just nothing but barbed wire. It's a web thicket of barbed wire.
Yes.
And a lot of back and forth. Kenny's about to try to drop him with a one-winged angel.
Yeah.
Mox gets out of that. He's about to go for like a paradigm shift. In the
gets
end,
out of that, yeah.
he ends up getting a suplex. They both go falling down into the barbed wire.
Yeah, and very gingerly.
And you're just sitting there thinking, how are they even going to get out of
I'm
this?
thinking Sabu, Terry Funk, and ECW.
Exactly.
And that was the thing. They had to stop the match because they couldn't get him out of the barbed wire.
The Bucks, Hangman, Brandon Cutler, a bunch of
refs, producer
types. They come and they very gingerly get them out of the contraption.
Yeah.
It was just, and then you see Brandon Cutler like trying to get Mox out, and he goes like that.
Yeah, he got
cuts
poked.
his finger.
And then so they get out, and the first thing Mox does, there's this producer character, I guess,
Yeah.
that's really over the top with stuff.
Yeah.
And Mox just goes and punches him.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Then he shoves another one.
Yeah. And so they kind of work their way over to this part of the stage where it's kind
a
of
beautiful stage, by the way. They did
yeah.
such a great job on the stage.
where there's kind of like a box, but the front is angled, so it's not like a rectangular right angles or anything. So I don't know, it's maybe like a 45-degree angle to it.
Basically, it's like leaned back
Yeah,
with
kind
the
of.
Full Gear logo.
In plexiglass.
And there's like a light behind that,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
makes it all nice looking.
Yeah.
Good craftsmanship.
Yeah. So Mox tries to suplex Kenny through it. Instead, Kenny escapes, hits Mox with some I couldn't determine what kind of metal apparatus or metal thing it was, and then V triggers him through the stage.
Yeah.
And then Mox crawls out, and he's got a young buck stuck to his forehead, like Jericho had his ticket stuck to his forehead a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Kenny exits this chasm now. They start brawling through the crowd and back towards the ring. And then pretty much right away, Mox hits a paradigm shift onto that pile of glass.
Yeah.
Kenny kicks out.
Yeah. And it was basically a Dirty Deeds. It wasn't like the high angle.
It wasn't the Death Rider.
The elevated, Death Rider, exactly.
So then Mox gets a box cutter and starts cutting all the ties that keep the canvas tied to the ring itself, pulls off the canvas, then the padding, sets up for a pile driver on Kenny on the wood. Kenny reverses it into a backdrop, follows up with a corner V trigger, goes for a one-winged angel. Mox reverses it to a paradigm shift, but Kenny escapes that, hits a paradigm shift of his own on the exposed wood. That gets him a 2. Kenny goes up top, goes for a Phoenix Splash. You know who does Phoenix Splashes?
Pac.
Kota Ibushi.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They Excalibur.
They mentioned that. Yeah.
The Golden Star.
Yeah. Took a page from the book of the Golden Star.
Mox moves. Kenny face plants. Busted himself on his eyebrow. Mox covers. Gets a 2 count. Then picks him up. Does Death Rider style elevated paradigm shift, and that gets him the win.
Yep.
Brutal match.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrific. Just absolutely terrific. And it was great because Mox then looks into the camera, and I think he was, and it was not mic'd, but you can hear it from a mic like a ways off.
Yeah.
And he says, "What is this now? 5, 4? What is it? You know what it is? You."
Yeah, he's talking about the rankings, the power rankings.
Yes. Yeah.
Says, where am I now? 5, 4? This is where I'm at. F you.
Yeah. That was
And
terrific.
he gets in the top turnbuckle and throws up double middle fingers. Total Stone Cold thing.
Total Stone Cold thing, yeah.
But fun match, brutal match. Hope both these gentlemen are okay.
Me too. They're going to be hurting. You said they're probably going to take Wednesday off.
No matches on Wednesday for either of them. Probably not one for Cody either.
Probably not.
After face planting like he did.
Yeah.
So it's going to be short-handed on Wednesday to a degree. But then I say that, and then watch Kenny's going to have a hardcore match.
30-minute hardcore match. I know, exactly. Yeah. Anyways, just a terrific show.
Yes.
Terrific last couple matches as well.
Yes.
Looking forward to Wednesday's Dynamite. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. We do appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.